Vatsiputriya. Vatsiputriya, we talk about two lineage, Mahasangika and Saviravada, correct or not? So after the formation of two school, two lineage, then we talk about further schism in these two lineage, two family lah. First, what this Saviravada lineage underwent one schism. This happens sometime, say about 100 years after the Viceroy Council. Viceroy Council about 100 years, slightly more than 100 years after Parinibbana, correct or not? Then after that, about 100 years later, Vatsiputriya split from the Saviravada school. Well, we stop at there. Then we discuss the why, what doctrine this Vatsiputriya talk about. They talk about the new the concept called Pugala entity. Pugala is different from five aggregate. It carries, open inverted comma, the unripened karmic potentiality from one life to the next life. Otherwise, you follow the Theravada's concept or the early Buddhist concept that moments, once thought moment, once disappear or ceases, then how to explain the past action, those unripened karma? Because Buddha says this karma, if not not ripen or bear fruit in this life, can be carried forward or can bear fruit in the subsequent life. But correct or not? But Buddha did not elaborate or give detail the mechanism how this karmic potentiality move from one existence to the next existence. So there was a debate lah. So because of this, Vatsiputriya came up with a theory or Pugala. Pugala responsible to carry the unripened karmic potentiality from life to life that explain the continuity of karma. No. We stopped there 2 weeks ago. So this Pugalawala, this Pugalawala school, Pugalawada school, all called Vatsiputriya, same school, split out from Saviravada. Besides this theory of Pugala, they also have other concept or doctrines, you see. For example, they accept the concept of intermediate state. Unlike Theravada, because of their theory of moments, momentariness, they say that this moment arises and ceases, and then the next one appears. There's no gap. It's more or less instantaneous, There's no gap, no time difference in between. It's more or less immediate. So because of this, there's no intermediate state, no intermediate existence. Life, if one being pass away in this life, one moment, rebirth takes place in some other realms. That's what Theravada says. But this Vatsiputriya disagree. He say there must be an intermediate state, Antarabhava, different from Theravada. The Pugalawala also different from Theravada. The theory about the continuity of karma also different. So other teaching of this Vatsiputriya, besides these two, they talk about the rest of never, except these two special lah. You see, so other schools because of Pukala, theory of Pukalawada, other schools criticize Wasiputria. They say, oh, your theory, your concept of this Pukala is a form of eternalism. It's against Buddha's teaching. Why they say this eternal entity? Because never die until and unless the being attain Pali-Nibbana, then only Pugala disappear, disintegrate. For before that, Pugala is always present in the being that functions. What function? Carry the seeds, the potentiality to the next life. So from life to life, life to existence to another existence to another existence, this Pugala always exists. So people say, oh, this concept is wrong, against Buddha's teaching, because you talk about unchanged, eternal existence, you see. But Vasiputra argue back, no, we are not talking about the what eternalism. It's only, the function to explain the continuity of karma. That's all. It's different from five aggregate. It's not the same. It's different, and it can be the same. The function, part of the functions that carries the karma, the potentialities. So they argue and argue. So in detail, at least their concept of Pugala can explain these two things, these two questions. Without a shell, without entity, what transmigrate? Right? You must explain the karma from few existences or few 10 or 20 years ago, and it bear fruit in subsequent existences. At least it can explain what. Otherwise, if you talk about the moment disappears, this moment has no connection with the earlier moment, then how to explain the karma, the continuity of karma, correct or not? So at least this Pukalawala explain number one. It can move from existences to another existence. It can explain why and how karma, if not ripen, never bear fruit in this life, why and how it can bear fruit or realize in a subsequent life, right? Who then also it can explain who experiences the consequences if there's no self, right? Not this moment karma, next moment you say there's no connection. Then I want to say this moment disappear. Another moment is a fresh moment, thought moment, and there's no connection between this and that. Then if this one created a karmic force, karmic action, then different action, different entity, different thought bear the fruit. You see, it's not fair lah. One moment lah. You see, so many things can explain. Vipaka, the relationship between the result and is relationship between the action and result. They are connected because of the Pugala doctrine. Then people will think, okay, they are connected. Fair lah. Your action, you bear fruit. Right? Second thing, you can explain how karma being carry forward, open and inverted comma, carry forward to another life. Can explain the memory. You had done something 10 years ago. Now I still can remember. the potentiality, the memory remains in the thoughts, from thought to thought, a different thought, another thought until next life, right? Not you still can remember. So this explain a lot of things. This Pugalawala theory. See, notes here, the Pugala serve to link the action and the consequences and to solve the problem associated with theory of momentariness. Theravada's theory of momentariness, as I say, this moment and next moment, in between, no space, no time difference, and has no connection. That's why this theory fail to explain the problem, as I mentioned to you earlier, continuity, etc. So when a person die, the aggregate disappear, disperse, right? Not rupa no more, nama move to the next life, feeling is feeling, then perception is perception, sankhara, all different, all move to separately. I mean, they combine in a group lah to the next life lah. So, but the Pugala continue carry the latent karmic tendency into the next life. This is how Pugala explain this. Ensure the karma from one lifetime influence the circumstances in the subsequent rebirth in the absence of permanent self. We don't have a permanent self soul to carry all this. So Pugala has this type of function, you know. It's like the candlestick, the frame, like another candle. So the flame, the fire being transmitted continuously. It's something like that, you see. So Pugalawala, okay, no problem. He explained these things. So later, this Vatsiputriya school split again into 4 other schools. That means the Saviravada lineage, Saviravada gave rise to Vatsiputriya. And Vatsiputriya later gave rise to 4 other schools. But out of these 4, Samitiya is the most important one. You see, the 4 schools, Dhamma, Namotariya, Pradaya, Niya, Samitiya, Sanyagarika. The other 3 are very little information we can get because short life, disappear very fast. Not all these schools existed until 13th or 14th century AD, when the Buddhism disappeared, Some existed maybe 50 years, 100 years, then disappeared, no news. So another reason is that very few written record have been kept until today, you see. But Samitiya is important in the sense that this school existed until 12th or 13th century when the Muslim invaded India and Buddhism declined and disappeared in India. For at least 1,000 years it existed. One thing. Second thing is that their text, one of the important Abhidhamma texts of Samitiya school, exists in Chinese translation today. You see, that's why scholars we are able to know their teaching. You see, of this new school, this 4 schools, Samitiya was the most important. Abhidhamma Asraya Pratnapati exists or is extant in Chinese translation. That's why it's important in the sense because it existed for more than 1,000 years, from 3rd century BC up to 13th century CE, when Buddhism disappeared in India. That means more than 1,000 years, That's why a lot of teaching able to be transmitted to China, and then we have the Chinese translation of it. See, so the school flourished during 4th to 12th century CE, from Gupta dynasty onwards, more or less 1,000 years. If you calculate from second or 3rd century BCE, it's more than 1,000 years. You see, these schools dominant or popular in central India, in western India. Samitiya, because it's a sub-school of what Siputriya, so it also has a lot of teachings similar to what Siputriya. You see, the doctrinal teaching of Samitiya, a sub-school of what Siputriya. So it shares a lot of doctrinal similarity with the parent school, Wasiputriya. For example, Pukala theory, we don't have to explain further. This one inherited from the parent school, Wasiputriya. Then intermediate state, also same as the parent school, what Siputriya, right now. They accepted the existing or intermediate state, Antarabawa, between death and rebirth. That means between two existences. Then the talk, when it comes to the nature Arahan, according to Theravada, Arahan is perfect and he will remain as Arahan. The spiritual development will never relapse, will never digress. That means you won't go backwards. You cannot say today Arahan, after few years I seldom practice. Now I drop back to Sotapanna. No, to Theravada. No. Once you attain Arahan means Arahan already. You won't go backwards. You see. So this Samitiya schools says have a different view. You say about the nature Arahan. This Samitiya school says that Arahan could potentially digress from their attainment. Wow, that means I can go backward, Tui po. If you don't keep on practicing and revise, you'll forget. It's not perfect. Is what Samitiya says. Then number 4, this Samitiya belief in gradual path, just like Theravada. When you practice, you have to practice Sila, normal 4 path, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. It's a gradual path. It's not so bit by bit. You cannot say I practice this immediately perfect. Practice Samadhi immediately perfect. You gain perfection. Everything perfect. No, slowly, eons and eons, many years. Then Samitiya dejected the idea of sudden enlightenment. Right or not? Enlightenment also gradual. For example, Buddha practice under the Bodhi tree. Arya Pariyasena Sutta mentioned it lasts for how many hours? 12 hours. 6 to 10, 10 to 2, 2 to next morning 6. Many hours. Slowly gain enlightenment. 3 different watches. First watch, you look, you have the ability to see your past life, many past. Then the middle watch, you gain the ability or to see other beings passing away here, rebirth and another place according to karma. Then the final watch, third watch, ability to eradicate defilement. So slowly, bit by bit, this is what we call gradual enlightenment and not sudden enlightenment. Sister Juliana, can you name any Buddhist school that believe in sudden enlightenment?
Wow. Sudden enlightenment.
For
Cannot
example,
remember lah.
huh? Chan school, Chan.
Chan, Chan is what meh?
Chinese.
Theravada meh?
No, a Chan school believe
Ah,
in sudden enlightenment. In
ah,
Chan is Chinese term.
ah.
Japanese they call Zen.
Then ha.
The master, you meditate and sit down, the master
Ah,
slowly come and knock at your head,
ah,
ask you,
mm.
is brother Sid a human being or not?
Then become enlightened.
You say, hey,
Ah,
it's not lah. Hey,
ah,
he's a snake. Because he talk here, talk there. He's a
ah,
snake. Oh, yeah, you are correct.
mm.
Enlightened.
No.
Sudden, that type of sudden enlightenment.
Or either sometimes they say that sometimes if you break something, like you break a ball, break a
There's one
glass, and then
talk
suddenly you can
you.
become enlightened.
This
Can ah?
sudden
Ah,
enlightenment.
like this can meh, brother? Yep.
This is their belief, like Zen.
Then I break so many balls, I don't see I can enlighten.
Then you see one day a teacher knock at your head, then see how you answer. He won't give you a chance to think, sudden.
You must
But
answer immediately, isn't it?
but the early Buddhism is different lah, gradual. As I told you, you see how many hours,
Yeah, lor.
10 over hours, gradual
Mm.
from this ability to next ability, slowly. So this Samitiya also believe in gradual lah, because they follow the early teaching, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Okay, this is typical early Buddhism lah. But of course it form a different school, have other different theories because
Mm.
they believe Arahant not perfect.
Yeah, no. All can regress.
And they also believe Pukalawala.
Ah.
So different school, peers, of course, something different, not 100%
Mm.
like the early
Mm.
Buddhism, the mix and there, you believe it, that one you believe.
Mm.
That's how, that's the reason why new school appear, right?
Mm. Okay.
Then the next one. So, we have mentioned the schism in Theravada side. After the second council, the Saviravada gave rise to Vasiputriya. Then after some time, Vasiputriya gave rise to 4 other schools. One of this was the Samitiya. Okay, up to there for the timing. Now we come to Mahasanghika side. This another lineage. Also, schism happened in that school. So this time, this Mahasanghika gave rise to 2 new schools. One is Eka Via Vaharika. Another one they call Gukarika. Another one is, you see the chart here. One day, this one is a last minute. I simply use a free hand to draw one. Later, I must do a nice job. You see, Mahasangika, the first time schism in this family, in this lineage was, it gave rise to 2 schools, Gokurika and Ekaya Vaharika. Okay. Then Eka Via Vaharika means Vaharika lah, Via Vaharika, conventional reality. Sometimes if you read Abhidhamma or this, they say Buddha talk about 2 truth, conventional truth and ultimate truth, correct or not? Paramatta. This there. conventional term. We just say, oh, our body, your body, this and that. But ultimately, oh, it consists of 5 aggregate, aggregate is, and then the nama and rupa. The nama have consists of feeling, then sanya perception, sankara what activity and consciousness, chitta, all this ultimate reality, speak all this in ultimate sense. But these schools, Ekavya Vaharika, they don't believe in all this differentiation. They say this normally we just talk about conventional is good enough for your teaching. This ultimate truth is a form of what? A form of upaya, skillful mean for your practice. That's all. You see. The school, fourth paragraph, the school believes that all phenomena are conventional in nature. And then the teaching of ultimate truth, they say Buddha's teaching ultimate truth is a form of skillful mean, upaya, to guide people towards enlightenment only. So all our teaching we emphasize on conventional terms. We don't talk about this reality, we don't talk about phenomena or mental thought, 5 aggregate, we don't emphasize that. But all their activity, they emphasize on conventional term, that's all. This is their approach. So this school in Central and Northern India, and then they say all Dharma mere concept. All this, they talk about the existences or phenomena. They only name only, not reality. You see, in real life, we talk about the normal conventional term. All those other phenomena, they are only concept, not real. So Buddha is supramundane. One of the important features of this Mahasanghika school is that they believe, as I told you before, they always consider Buddha as a superhuman being, correct? No? Unlike Theravada, Saviravada say Buddha is the normal human being, though he has some powers, but not unlike Mahasanghika, who consider Buddha as supramundane or transcendental, something like a god, you see. So Mahasanghika schools and their sub-schools, for example, here, Ekavya Vaharika, they consider Buddha as a supramundane and transcendental beings, superpower, with a with omniscient power, a lot of power, just like a god, you see. So this Eka Vaharika, 2 things you remember. They emphasize on conventional teaching and not the ultimate sense. Buddhism, they don't emphasize on ultimate sense. They consider this as for those spiritual practitioners to help them for liberation. In our day-to-day life, just conventional term, that's all, usual terms. Then they treat Buddha as though he was a supramundane or transcendental beings. Then that's all. This is their belief. So another school, as I say, Mahasanghika gave rise to first schism in the lineage of Mahasanghika. It gave rise to 2 schools, Ekavarika, Ekaya Vaharika, and Gokurika. So just now we talk about, we discuss the teaching of Ekavya Vaharika. Now Gokurika. Gokurika's teachings is again different. They say everything in this world, that means all the things, mundane phenomena, things, all these conditioned phenomena brings suffering to us, you see. So all condition, number two, sorry, all condition, all compounded phenomena, things that arise, and you understand the meaning of conditional things, phenomena. Things appears owing to conditions. All these things are impure. Impure in the sense that it gives suffering to you, you know. So in early Buddhism, we talk about this thought, mental thought, the objects, anatta, because of anatta, anicca, that gives you suffering. But this Kugokurika include all the compounding, conditional thing, all give rise to suffering. You see? Impurity, because of conditioned things, this one is, sorry, same as the early teachings. Early teachings say conditional things are impermanent, give rise to suffering. So they also more or less follow the early teaching, you see. But they emphasize on unconditional thing, that's Dipana. So all dharmas are, all conditional thing are impermanent except Dipana. Dipana is permanent. Uh, Dipana is unconditioned. There's only one exception. So the school focus on unconditioned phenomena, which is Nibbana. Their teachings emphasize on unconditional thing. The rest all conditional thing. Don't focus too much. It gives you suffering because they are impure. That's their belief. So it can be more or less same or slightly different from the early teaching. Right? They include more things. So the next school, they broke away from Saviravada. So now we come back to Saviravada family. So because there's no blackboard here, we cannot give you an overall picture, schism. So we have to base on a slide here to explain. Now we move back to Saviravada lineage. So just now Saviravada lineage, we talk about the formation of sub-school Vatsiputriya. We talk about from Vatsiputriya form another 4 school, right or not? Then Mahasangika, we talk about 2 new school, Kokurika, Ekavya Vaharika. Now we come back to Saviravada again. So apart from those 4 school, 5 school in the Saviravada, 6 schools, there's another new school split away from the Saviravada that appears. Is different from Vasiputriya, is different from the Samitiya school. This school called Savastivada is very important school, this one. In the Saviravada lineage, it's very important school called Savastivada. So sometime in the year of this end of Asoka's reign, that means end of the 3rd century BCE, this school was formed. And this school formed somewhere near Patna, Pataliputra. After the formation, they moved away from Asoka, capitals of Asoka, because Asoka recognized only Saviravada. Right or not? Then this Asoka recognized only Saviravada, but this Savastivada not favored by Asoka. They have to move away from Asoka's capital. They moved towards Mathura, somewhere near the present day Delhi, New Delhi. And later they moved from Mathura to northwest India, to Gandhara, to Odiyana area, to Bactria, northern Afghanistan area, Central Asia. And they became a very powerful, very prominent school in northwest India. This was the Savastivada. That's the background of the formation of this school and how they moved to northwest India. Then what about their teaching? It's an important school. Savastivada, the most important teaching is the existence of Dharma in tri-temporal period. Tri-temporal period refer to past, present, future. 3 different periods. So according to Savastivada, it says that the unit of existence we call Dharma, not Buddha's teaching. Unit of existence, the smallest unit of existence called Dharma, exists not only in the present period, past period also exists, present also exists, future also exists. 3 periods also exist. Why? They give you one example. Mango seed. You after eating all the mango fresh, you plant the mango seed. After some time, grow the mango tree. No. Mango tree, mango flower, give rise to mango fruit. Right or not? Then mango fruit, after you have eaten the fresh, you plant again. It give rise to mango tree, mango flower, mango leaf again. Always mango, mango, mango. So whether in the past you planted this period, you get the fruit. After that, you plant again in the future. Also the same thing, the same process. The mango, they use a term, the mango-ness. Now, abstract noun, mango-ness is always present throughout the 3 period, correct or not? In the past, you planted the mango seed, the mango-ness remain there, give rise to mango fruit. This period, you have eaten the fresh, you plant a mango seed of this period. In future, you get the mango fruit again. So the mango-ness, the nature of mango-ness is always present. In a modern term, we call, the genetic effect, the DNA is always there. But those 2,000 years ago, the Indian, they don't talk about DNA or this. They use the term, the cell nature. Swabhava, the last paragraph. The cell nature, the nature is always there. The swabhava. So the swabhava, here with our example, the mango seed and mango trees, mango fruit. So the nature, the cell nature of mango-ness is always there. Mango give rise to mango. Mango seed give rise to mango fruit. Mango-ness is always there. The cell nature, the swabhava is always there. So to Savastivada, it says that, this Dharma present throughout 3 periods. past, present, future. Always there, always the same. There's a theories. Other schools say, oh, you cannot say that. If you say Dharma exists in 3 periods, you are talking about eternalism. Oh, that's against Buddha's teaching. Buddha never say eternal, exists eternally, and never say nihilism. Always in the middle part. So if you talk Dharma exists in the past, in the present, in future, that means your theory is equivalent to eternalism, which is against Buddha's teaching. But then Savasiwala say, only you talk about the existence of the swabhava throughout the 3 periods, then only you can talk about the continuity of our life, our nature, correct or not? Otherwise, how to explain the same nature of the existence in the past and same nature existence present, same nature existence in the future? How to explain? There must be something in common, you see. So number three here, the follower Savasiwala believe that all Dharma exists in 3 temporal periods, past, present, future, and they possess self-nature, swabhava. And this swabhava is not fixed entity like a soul, it's not in that sense, you see. So it is neither the same nor different from a five aggregate. Again, they use the term neither the same nor different. Just like Vatsiputriya's Pugala theory also say, oh, it's not eternal, never exists eternally, but it's not the same or neither same nor different from the five aggregate. So they always use this term. So to avoid being criticized of eternality, you see. So Savasiwada's theory, all Dharma exists throughout the 3 periods. That's a theory. All Dharma are real. That's why you can bear fruits. In the past, real, the present also real, in the future also real. You see, real in the sense that it has a potentiality to bear fruits. So Savasiwala say Dharma real throughout the period because past action retain the potentiality to produce the effect in the future. Against these Dharma theories of Savasiwala, what's the main purpose? To explain the karmic action. You say not real, then how can the past karma bear fruit in this life? Right or not? Must be real throughout the 3 periods. You see? Understand? Karma, the dharmas are real, whether in the past, present, or future. Real in the sense that they retain the potentiality, still effective. Though once a karma has produced the effects, then it's not real, no more effective, disappear. So long as the karma, the potentiality is there and the frictions not haven't occurred yet, still real, still has a potentiality to produce effect. This is aligned with Buddha's teaching. Karma can bear fruit in future, this life, next life, or future life. That's why our Dharma also must be real in past, present, future, as long as they haven't produced a fruition yet. All remains real. All Dharma becomes real. And karmic action is a is a type of Dharma, the unit existence. See. So besides this Dharma theory, the three temporal exists in three temporal period. This Savastivada also believe in Antarabhava, Antarabhava, intermediate existence. You know why? They say, oh, rebirth takes time, not instantaneous like Theravada. Because Theravada say immediate rebirth. There's no gap, no intermediate existences. But Savastivada say rebirth takes time. From human, for example, human realm, if we all rebirth in the upper realm, Deva's realm, it will take time to transform from human level to the upper Deva level. So because of this timing difference, there must be a gap, you see, antarbhava, intermediate existence. So number three, third paragraph, you see, they believe the concept of antarbhava or rebirth cannot be instantaneous. There must be a gap there, intermediate existence, because past action require time to ripen and direct the consciousness to the next rebirth. The process takes time. You see. Again, if a being die in another different realm, there must be a transitional phase to bridge the two different realms. Bridging the two different, there must be a transitional phase. That means the transitional phase refer to the intermediate existence, Antarabhava. So remember, they believe in Antarabhava, unlike Theravada. Theravada, because the theory of momentariness, that's why they don't believe in Antarabhava. So, number 4. This one okay. This Savastivada believe in gradual practice and 4 stages of enlightenment. What are the 4 stages? Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arhanship. Gradual progress along the supramundane path from Sotapanna onward to Arahantship. That's their theory of spiritual development. Okay. Then the last one, Savastivada school is they emphasize Abhidhamma and the commentary text, Mahavibhasa. So nowadays we still have the complete 7 Abhidhamma texts in Chinese translation of Savastivada schools. Then, so after Savastivada, there's another school called Mahisasa school, Mahisasaka school. That also split away from Savastivada. So Savastivada split from Saviravada, and Savastivada give rise to another school called Mahisasaka. The founder of this Mahisasaka school was Purana, one of the main disciples of Buddha, Purana. This Purana was one of the, when we talk about the first council, the 500 Arahant who attended the first council meeting, Purana was not in. He was away with his 500 disciples. By the time Purana came to Rajagaha, the meeting was over. So somebody told Purana, say, oh, meeting over. This the teaching, Vinaya is like that, Sutta like that. Purana say, I personally heard from Buddha what are the teachings, what are the Vinaya. So he has his own version, you know. That's why later in the Mahisasaka's schools, Vinaya, there were slight different rules regarding cooking, storage of food in the temple, you see. They are different. And then their robe also different color. Their monk, they wore blue robes, blue color. Last paragraph. They are teaching and their Vinaya rule slightly different. First thing, the robe color. Second thing, regarding the food cooking in the Vinaya, different. Then they are popular not only in Northwest India, throughout India, and in Sri Lanka also. They are this Mahisasaka also present there. It's very popular throughout the country. Okay. So Mahisasaka, now we talk about their doctrine. First, past and future not real. Past and future Dharma, unlike Savastivada. Savastivada say Dharmas exist or real throughout the three period. But Mahisasakas say no, only the present Dharma are real and present Dharma exists. Future not in existence because haven't appeared yet. And the past one already over, so not real, only a present real. Is different from Savastivada. Same as a Theravada. Then, according to Mahisasaka, Buddha is not transcendental. That means not supramundane. It's different from Mahasanghika. Because Mahasanghika belongs to a different lineage, whereas Mahisasaka belongs to Saviravada lineage. So most of the school in Saviravada lineage believe that Buddha was human being, not as supramundane like Mahasanghika schools. So number two, Buddha was not transcendental. An Arahant. Buddha was not transcendental and Arahant could regress. Therefore, the school accept the Mahadeva's 5 point. So this Mahisasa school, on one side, they say, oh, Buddha is like human being. On the other hand, they say, oh, Arahant is not perfect. Just like Mahadeva's 5 point I told you, in the Arahant still can regress or relapse. You see, so it's regarding the Buddhology and nature of Buddha and Arahant. This Sasaka is somewhere in between. In the sense that from Theravada's point of view, Buddha, human being, Arahant is perfect. No. But Mahisasaka say, oh, I agree with you, Buddha was human being, human teacher. It's not transcendental, not supramundane, but Mahisasaka differs from Theravada's view that Arahant is not perfect. Mahisasaka agree with the Mahadeva's 5 point. They say Arahant can regress, can relapse. That means can go backwards. If you lack of practice. No. So again, a bit different, a bit the same when compared to Theravada. Then theory of Dharma different from Savastivada. Savastivada all exist, all real. Wherein Mahisasaka say only the present exists, present are real. So different school, all these different theories. It's a mixture here and there. Number three, they believe in Antarabhava. You see, again, even though this Mahisasaka is in the Saviravada lineage, is again they talk about the existences, it's different from the Theravada. Theravada say no Antarabhava, no intermediate existence. But Sasaka, even though they're in the Saviravada family, they believe in Antarabhava. Not all action produce karma fruit. Believe in Antarabhava, and then not all action produce karma fruit. Only strong intention generate karma result. Normally people say, oh, once you have the intentional action, you produce the karma. Right? But to Mahisasaka say some minor trivial one action, don't worry, you won't produce karma. Only you have a very strong intention, then you generate the karmic action. You see. Again, slightly different from Theravada. Some say so long as you have intention, you generate karmic action, right? Now you produce result. But this one is slightly different. It depends on the intensity, how strong is your intention. So that means the focus is on the mental state, whether your mind is strong or not, your intention strong, rather than the action itself. Oh, strong action, or physical action strong or what. The mental action come first. Number 4, emphasize samatha and vipassana meditation. Same, okay lah, same as the early Buddhism. Give, not gift, gift. FD. I believe that gift to the Sangha is more meritorious than giving to Buddha. Different. This belief appears after Buddha passed away. Of course, you cannot see the Buddha personally. You can only see the Sangha member. So it says Sangha members is more important at that moment. You see. Whereas Lama Guptaka, later we talk about Lama Guptaka. Lama Guptaka say Buddha is very important. Even though Buddha is no more in existence, look at the stupa. Stupa symbolizes the presence of Buddha. So Buddha is more important. So different school, they have a different attitude towards the Sangha, towards the remains of the Buddha, you see. So they reject this Mahisasaka reject the concept of Pugala, different from Vasiputriya and different from Samitiya. Then they uphold the non-self. So the school disagree with Pugalavada and disagree with Samitiya with regard to the Pugala theory. You see. 1:30, we stop for 5 minutes. Okay. Corona nikah. 5 minutes,
Okay, brother, 5 minutes, Pagi ni can stop recording.
Yes, come back. Welcome back. Karunaka. So now
Yeah.
we carry on with another school. Kasyapya school. Kasyapya school, in fact, if you can recall, after the third council, Asoka sent a lot of missions, 9 missions to preach Dharma in India, outside India. One of the group went to Himalaya side. Not to say they climb up the Himalaya mountain, Himalaya region. So this group later they changed the name They call themselves Kasapia. Kasapia school. So it's still under the family group, the Savirawala family group, you know. It's not Mahasangika group. This school active not only in the Himalaya region, later it moved to Northwest India, Gandhara, Bactria, northern Afghanistan, Kashmir, the area. You see, because a lot of school, they went to the side, Savastivada, Mahasangika, later Mahayana, all went there. So this Kasapia schools rejected the concept of Pugala. That means even though this school and the Vasiputri all in the same family, Saviravada, correct or not? But Saviravada believe in Pugalavada, but others, Kasapia, disagree. Okay, one thing, they disagree with the Pugalavada school. Then number two, same as other school, Theravada, all this Dhammakutaka, they emphasize on meditation also. These are standard lah. But then, what is the main difference? These schools, Kasapia school, agree with Mahasangika of the other family, you see, and agree with the Savastivada that Arahan are not perfect. That means agree with the Mahadeva's 5 point, you know. Even though it's in the Saviravada group, it has some different opinion, different from the Theravada. You see. For example, they have the same opinion like Theravada because they believe emphasize in meditation. They rejected the Vasiputriya, the Pugala theory, but they disagree with the Theravada's idea that Arahan is perfect. So this Kasapia say no, not perfect. They agree with the Savastivada, they agree with the Mahasangika. So all mix here, mix there, the theory. So what's the meaning of Arahan not perfect? And the one I explained to you already. They can relapse, digress. Okay. So only to explain more in details. Another school there within Saviravada called Dhammaguttaka. This is very important school also. You see, it's split from Mahisasaka. It's split from Mahisasaka school at about the same time, 2nd century BC. That means after Asoka's time. It appeared in Western India, Aparanta, near Bombay, that time, Western India, coastal area. So after breaking away from Mahisasaka in the West India, they moved towards the northwest to Iranian, somewhere after the Afghanistan, somewhere near the Iranian border. Then they moved to Central Asia. That's how they present in Central Asia, in the Northwest India, you see. Now, you see second paragraph. Later it spread northwest to Iran, Persian, and also northwest to Uliana, nowadays northern Pakistan, Swat Valley. So there they spread to China and Central Asia. This school important, because later it spread to China. It became one of the very important school. And the present day, the Chinese Mahayana Vinaya, they adopted the Dhammaguttaka schools Vinaya until today. So today the Chinese, the monk, Mahayana, monk and nuns, you ask them what Vinaya school and not Theravada, they follow Dhammakotaka. Okay. So important of this school. Another concept is that they worship stupa. Why they worship stupa? Because stupa symbolizes or represent the presence of Buddha, right or not? Why they consider stupa is a symbol of Buddha? Because after Buddha passed away, his relics were distributed and enshrined inside the stupa, correct or not? So whenever you see the stupa, they remind them, oh, there's a Buddha there, Buddha there. So they make offering to the stupa. Stupa become a stupa worship. Make offering to stupa, veneration, chanting near the stupa, because stupa means Buddha. So it's different from just now the Mahisasaka school, in it. They say, oh, Sangha is more important than the Buddha. Offering to, but Lama Gotara say offering to the Buddha is more important than the Sangha. People may say, oh, Buddha no more, no more here, not around. How to make offering? Oh, to the stupa. The stupa represent Buddha. You see? This Dhammagotaka, as I told you before, talk about the compilation of Tipitaka, correct or not? The time I mentioned this Dhammagotaka school, they have 5 Pitaka. Normal Theravada, they have 3 Pitaka. Sutta, Vinaya, Abhidhamma, correct or not? The Dhammagotaka, they have 5. Besides the 3, Vinaya, Sutta, and Abhidhamma, they have Bodhisattva Pitaka. This Pitaka, they could include a lot of sutta about the bodhisattva practices. Then lastly, they have one Dharani Pitaka. The Pitaka is a collection of all the protective verses, all the chanting for protections, all the verses, all the Dharani mantra for chanting for protection purpose. So that group collection of the protective verses, they call it a Dharani Pitaka, right? Not? So they got 5 Pitakas. Dharani, number 4, this school consider more important to make offering to Buddha rather than Sangha, and their follower practice honoring stupa. Okay, this one we discussed. It was popular in Central Asia because they have Dharani Pitaka, collection of mantra with a power, protecting power. That's why people, a lot of followers in Central Asia. Why? Because as I told you, those traders from Northwest India, they went to Central Asia, went to China, to Xinjiang to do business with the foreigners. They need protection, psychological comfort. So they always ask a monk to go around, they chanted all the protecting verses. So this monk, they have this type of Dharani Pitaka that consists of a lot of this Dharani, the verses, chanting for protection, this and that, you see. So one Pitaka by itself. Just like nowadays you have a chanting book, one book by itself. They have a Pitaka by itself, a collection of all these chanting sutta, you see. Dhammagotaka consider Buddha as transcendental being, transcendental, just a deified semi-god. Is beyond the ordinary human being. It's different from Theravada. Theravada says human teacher, but Dhammagotaka says beyond the human being. It's a transcendental, it's a superhuman being. You see. They emphasize on Bodhisattva part instead of Arahan, Swavaka. The Theravada, both early Buddhism, they talk about Arahanship, correct not? Swavaka, Yana. only in the Kudaka Nikaya, Buddha Wangsa, they talk about Bodhisattva Park, practice the 10 parami, correct not? So Theravada, two type of practices. But then Theravada emphasize on the Arahant and the Swavakayana, practice to gain Arahantship. Whereas Dhamma Gotaka emphasize on Bodhisattva Park, becoming a Buddha, Bodhisattva Park, being the idea, number two, Buddhahood, enlightened as a Buddha for the benefit of all beings. Just like the Mahayana also have this type of ideas, Bodhisattva Park, practice 10 parami, enlightened as a Sammasam Buddha, for the benefit of all sentient beings. This Mahayana also have the same thought one. You see, so Bodhisattva Park is higher and more compassionate aspiration than the Arahant ideal. That's different from the early Buddhism. Why not? They rejected concept of Pugala. Okay, disagree with Vasiputriya lah, but they differ from Theravada in the sense that they emphasize on Bodhisattva Park. They have a separate collection of what we call Dharani Pitaka. They worship stupa. So again, some similarity, some differences from other schools, you see. Then they emphasize on meditation. This one as usual lah. Now, so after so many times of schism, in the Theravada group, we call Saviravada group, right? Not. That means from 100 years after the Vaisali Council, within the Saviravada family, first you have Vasiputriya. Then from Vasiputriya, you have 4 sub-schools, including Samitiya. Then later you have Savastivada school from Saviravada. Savastivada from Saviravada. Okay. Then Savastivada give rise to Mahisasaka. Then on the other hand, you have Kasyapya school formed in the Himalaya region. Then Namagotaka school formed. So in the Saviravada group, all the school formed already after Asoka's time. But of all these schools, there were 4 schools that share the same theory regarding Dharma. Savastivada say all the 3 periods, the Dharma exists throughout the 3 periods. But there are 4 schools say no. These 4 schools say present period and the present Dharma real, future not real. You haven't come appear yet. Past depends. Depends whether the karma, the Dharma produce any fruit or not. You know, in the past, you have created some karmic action, right or not? Your Dharma may bear fruit or may not have borne any fruit yet, because fruition may come later, next period or future period. So in the past period, there are 2 types of karmic action. One type of karmic action already ripened, so the Dharma gone, disappear. So what happened to those karmic action that haven't realized yet? haven't realized fruition yet. So those karma, those dharma can carry the potentiality forward to the next life, correct or not? So that type of karma still exists. Okay. Then come to present period, the dharma, the karmic action, always real. And future, not real, because future dharma, you haven't arrived, not yet arise. So this group of 4 schools in the Saviravada lineage, they share a common belief that past dharma, part of it real, and the present dharma always real, and future dharma not real. So this group of school we call Vibhajavada. You see, number 2, the Vibhajavada was a group of non-Vasiputriya Savidavada sub-school. It's Vasiputriya is not inside. That rejected Savastivada's theory regarding the existence, Dharma existence throughout the 3 periods. You see, the 4 schools that make up of Vijayavada were Savidavada, Mahisasaka, Kashyapya, and Dhammaguttaka. These 4 schools share the same thought regarding the existence of Dharma. Okay. They oppose the tri-temporal Dharma theory of Savastivada. Okay. Understand? So other concept we don't talk first. We only talk about how they disagree with Savastivada with regard to the existence of Dharma. So the 4 schools emphasize on critical inquiry and analytical reasoning. Over the time, we form a group that share the common core teaching, also have their own distinction, interpretation, and practices. They believe that, this one important, that number 2, second paragraph important, they explain their common belief. You see, they believe and this integrate, this distinguish that half Dharma of the past, half Dharma means certain Dharma that in the past were not manifested yet. They still had a potentiality to bear fruit, right? Not, and all the present Dharma exists. Past, as I say, those have not produced fruition yet. They exist. Present Dharma exists. Future, no, do not exist. So this group believe in this theory they call Vibhajavada. And you remember when I talk about the 3rd councils, Asoka asked the question, either Moggaliputta Tissa asked a question. Ask whom? Those heretical monks in the Asoka Rama, correct or not? A lot of monks there, bogus monk, mixed inside there. So in order to purge, to cleanse the Sangha there, Moggaliputta Tissa and Asoka went there, call all the monks and ask a question. What is the teaching of Buddha? What is the question? What is the teaching? The monks should answer, Buddha belongs to Vibhajavada. That's the correct answer. If they give the wrong answer, then out, disrobe, right or not? Given white cross. So the important people will ask you, how to differentiate whether it's a bogus monk or a Theravada true teaching about the Saviravada. They ask the doctrine of Vibhajavada. Then what's the main teaching of Vibhajavada? Existence of Dharma. Then explain what you know about the existing of Dharma throughout the three period. Throughout the three period, the past, those who have given and manifested Dharma no more existence. Those haven't, then potentiality to bear fruit. That one is exists, waiting for a time to bear fruit. The present always exists, future not exist. That's all. That's their teaching. Okay. Then they reject Pugalavada. So far, okay, Saviravada's group complicated because this one talk about this, that one talk about this one a bit similar to this, a bit different from that a bit different. So it's difficult for you to remember, this one with this one with that, unless you one by one you record down the main differences or similarity. So Nikaya Buddhism, the sectarian Buddhism, the period is very confusing. A lot of people will avoid this because they were 18 or 20 over school. All school have a different teaching. Some agree with this about Pugala, and yet they disagree about the what the Arahants, nature Arahant, right or not? Some agree with the concept Antarabhava, intermediate. Some disagree. So it's a mixture here, mixture there, mixture. So that period of what we call sectarian Buddhism was a period whereby different schools interpreted Buddha's teaching differently. Each one said this is like that one is like that, karma theory is like this, Arahant is like that, then he said Dharma is like that, whether it exists or not. Then it's Antarabhava is like that. Then it's emphasize on meditation, gradual. So all based on, all focus on these several issues, whether Buddha is supramundane or not, or just a human being, or whether Dharma exists in previous period or present tri-temporal period. All they talk about the intermediate stage. All they talk about the karma theory, Pugala theory. All right. Then they talk about the practice, meditation. They talk about the nature Arahant. So all focus on these 5 or 6 issues. Now we come to the Mahasangika school, this side. Mahasangika family. Just now we say Mahasangika, the first schism, produces 2 schools, right or not? Gokulika, Eka, Via Vaharika, 2 schools. Now we talk about another school, Lokotarawada. So this is one of the important schools also. Lokotarawada believe in supramundane. Buddha is supramundane. It's it only dominant in northwest India, particularly in Bamiyang, northern Afghanistan, the area, the Bactria. Those days they call the area Bactria. So Lokotarawada formed during the mid-Asoka's period, possibly from Ekavya Vaharika. It's not directly split away from Mahasangika. It's something Mahasangika gave rise to Ekavya Vaharika and Gokulika. So possibly Ekavya Vaharika give rise to Lokotarawada. school. So the main center, as I say, in Bactria, northern Afghanistan, Kashmir and Gandhara region. And it's important that because one of the Vinaya text is not complete, part of the Vinaya text of this Lokotarawada school still exists today in Chinese translation. The one have you heard of Mahavastu? Mahavastu is the beginning part of the Vinaya text of this Lokotarawadi. Nowadays, a lot of this biography of Buddha, this and that, different from Theravadas one, a lot from Mahavastu. And this school, as I say, very popular in northern Afghanistan. Those days they call Bactria. So scholar today says that one the giant Buddha in Bamiyang, the one bombed by the Taliban, the one the product or created by Lokotarawada school, and not a Mahasangika school, not a Theravada school, but the giant Buddha was built by Lokotarawada school. Then, as I say, Lokotarawada school agree with the Mahasangika in the sense that they consider Buddha as a supramundane being, transcendental. You see, it's not an ordinary human being, with a lot of psychic power, omniscient, omniscient and transcendental. Even sleep, right from the beginning, he has a power already. Later, Mahayana also adopted their doctrine. The Buddha, right from the birth, is already powerful, non-human, Superman. So they say Buddha was a superhuman being. In what sense? Seldom sleep 2 hours a day, most of the time in a state of meditation, and then he utter just one word or one short statement that people will understand the Dharma already. Yeah. Though it was a sub-school of Mahasangika, it rejected Mahadeva's 5 point. Mahadeva say Arahan not perfect, correct or not? And this idea was accepted by Mahasangika and few other schools. But Lokotarawada, even though it's in the family of Mahasangika, but he disagree. He said, no. I rejected Mahadeva's 5 point. That means it says that Arahan is perfect to Lokotarawada. So it also agree with the early Buddhist practice, Sila, Samadhi, Panya, meditation, very important, you see. But then he agree with the Mahasangikas and the later Mahayana also believe the same thing, that all phenomena are empty, sunyata. You see, empty doesn't mean it totally disappear, nothing. That means empty a cell nature, it's different from the Savasivada school. I say, oh, all these phenomena, they have a cell nature, right? Not so that's why throughout the 3 period, they produce the same effect. You see? But this Lokotarawada, they say no, all the phenomena are empty, because the basic dharma are all empty, anatta. You see? I know, you see. Mahasangika first give rise to Eka, Via, Vaharika, and Hokurika, 2 schools. So later, Eka, Via, Vaharika produced Lokotara school. Now, what happened to the other school, Gokurika? Due to the Abhidharma controversy, the Gokurika schools split into Bahusutriya and Pranatiwada. You see here. Just now we say Eka Vyavaharika produced Lokottaravada. Now the Gokulika produced two schools, Bahusutriya, Pranatiwada. Bahusutriya believe that meditation could prolong life indefinitely. Wow, you meditate every day, meditate. You can live for 100, 200, 300 years. Ah, and feelings, the rest of the five skandhas, our human nature, not real, not real, all concept only. You emphasize meditation, you live forever. Then the other school, Pranaktivada, Pranaktivada, yes. Kokulika produced two schools, Pranaktivada and just now the Bahusutriya. The Bahusutriya meditation can prolong your life. Then what happened to Pranaktivada? Pranaktivada say that five aggregate are real, whereas other thing not real. Only five aggregate real. Then Ayatana, 18 what Dhatu, all is not real, you see. Only certain part human being are real. Then there's no cell. Say lah, cell is not real. Okay lah, that one same as early Buddhism. All phenomena are sunyata, empty. This is something later Mahayana also say that one. All the world existences, world phenomena, all empty, sunyata, not real. All concept only, some idea only. So this school also rejected Mahadeva's 5 points. That means they believe Arahant is real, is something like will not relapse, will not regress, is perfect. Just like the Lokottaravada early on. Then schism in Mahasangika, then Chaitya school. You see the Mahasangika after forming first schism in this family, two schools, Eka Vyavaharika and Gokulika. Later, Eka Vyavaharika produced Lokottaravada. Then this Gokulika, as I say, mentioned to you, two schools, Pranaktivada and Bahusutriya. So, okay, with this field we have discussed. Then on the other hand, later, after all this happened already, then the Mahasangika produced a group of sub-school, Saidas. This main group here is called Chaitika school in southern. All these schools are in southern India, whereas all these schools in northwest India. Eka Vyavaharika, Gokulika, Lokottaravada, Vahusutriya, Pranatiwada, all in northwest India. Then, because as I told you before, Mahasangika moved to two sides, One group moved to northwest India and they produce all these schools, as I told you, Kokotala, this. Another group moved to southeast India, Andhra Pradesh, near Tamil Nadu. Last week I told you, 2 weeks ago. This group in the southwest India, they produce so many sub-schools, Chaitya schools. Chaitika school again produced Aprasida, Saida, Uttara Saida, all in Southeast India. So in the Southeast region, the Andhra Pradesh, at the Amaravati, Krishna River, the side lah, Chaitika school were formed. So Chaitika school formed again split into at least 3 sub-school. The school believed that Buddha was transcendental. This is typical Mahasanghika's idea lah. Buddha is a supramundane. Buddha is a half god. They deify Buddha. I told you before, in it. Then they follow the Bodhisattva path. You practice the 10 paramita, you enlighten as a Sammasambuddha. Instead of following the early Buddhism, the Savakayana path, enlighten the Arahant, but they emphasize on the Bodhisattva path. Just like the Dhammaguttaka school in it, or the Saviravada, they believe in Bodhisattva path in it. So this Mahasanghika school, this Chaitya, they also believe in Bodhisattva practice, enlightened as a Buddha instead of Arahant. Because they say that as a Buddha is more compassionate than the Arahant. In a way, it's true. All phenomena are empty, the same as the Mahasanghika group. Even typical things, Dharma, phenomena, all empty, sunyata, not real. But they believe in they follow early Buddhism. They consider our spiritual practice consists of sila, samadhi, and panya. That's a proper way to gain liberation. Regarding the Mahadeva's 5 point, this Chaitya school says that, oh, Arahant not perfect. So they agree with the Mahadeva's 5 point. So Chaitya school later form all this sub-school, all in the Southeast India. Okay. Now we come back to Saviravada, Theravada side. The important school called Savastivada. In northwest India, this Savastivada was very powerful, correct or not? Their text in Sanskrit, remember. And the Saviravada school, they emphasize on the commentary, they emphasize on the Abhidhamma study. The 7 texts of Abhidhamma available today in Chinese translation. But in northwest India, later they split, into 2 groups. Because many of these Savastivada, they emphasize, they focus on Abhidhamma, focus on Mahavibhasa, the great commentary. So the other group of Savastivada, they say, no, we believe in Sutta only. We don't believe in Abhidhamma. So this group, Sutta believer, they call Sautrantika school. This Sautrantika is sometime around 2nd century in the northwest India, Gandhara, Kashmir, first paragraph. Saviravada give rise to Vaibhasika, the one you concentrate, emphasize on Abhidhamma, and 3 other small schools, Sautrantika. In fact, Sankrantika and Dasantika, they are considered as a transitional school, short life. Only Sautrantika became a powerful and permanent school. You see, Sautrantika means those who rely on the Sutta only. They don't believe in Abhidhamma and the commentary. No, only Sutta. Then Sankrantika school and Dasantika is short life schools is they say maybe a forerunner of this Sautrantika school. You see. These three were closely related sub-schools of Sarvastivada. Scholars consider Sautrantika and Sankrantika belong to the same school, whereas Dasantika is a transitional school. So you just remember, sometime after Asoka in the northwest India, Sarvastivada split into two schools. One, Vaibhasika, focus on Abhidhamma and commentary. Another group, ultimately, they call themselves Sautrantika, two groups. Sautrantika emphasize on Dharma study only, whereas the other group, Abhidhamma and commentary. So Sautrantika have a very important theory called Bija theory. Bija means the seed. Also, they come up with this Bija theory to explain the continuity of karma, just like the Vasiputriya, they talk about, they explain how karma can be transmitted or carried forward from existence to another existence. So this Sautrantika also had their own theory to explain the continuity of karma. So their theory we call Bija theory. The Bija theory of Sautrantika explain the karmic continuity. It says that every volitional action, the karmic action, produce a seed. Seed, not the physical seed, the mental thought, mental thought. That's why I use a open and close inverted comma. That we call thought, the potentiality that can bear fruit. If no fruition, then it carry forward to next life. You see, these seeds is the potential effect latent anusaya, latent in the subconsciousness, and it moves from existence to the next existence until fruition. And until it bear fruits, then this bija disappear. Yes, Sarvastivada says that once the karma or the dharma has produced a fruit, be not there anymore. If fruition still not there, then it move to the next life. So it's same as the Vasiputriya explain the Pugalawala theory So it's not the same as five aggregate. They always tell the same thing. Has nothing to do with five aggregate. This Bija, whether it's Bija theory, the seed theory, or the Vasiputriya Pugala theory, exists, has a function to carry the potentiality of the earlier karmic action from one life to the other life. That's all. That's their function, you see. From existence to the next. And school thought that momentary stream of consciousness create the number two. It's not a fire aggregate that function this way, Instead, the Bija, the Sautrantika say that, a momentary karmically conditioned stream of consciousness in the form of bija. Not there's so many bija because you have so many karmic action. Stream of this bija, the seed, move from life to life. When Nibbana is attained, then all these seeds, bija, disappear, no more, extinguished. Just like the Pugala, the same thing. Before one attain enlightenment, the Pugala always has its own work, own function to carry the potentiality of karmic action from life to life. So this different schools use different terminology, but the idea the function is the same. How to explain the continuity of karmic action if the karmic action has not produced any fruition yet? How to carry to the next life? So some use a Pukala theory, some use a Bija theory, right or not? This concept later adopted by the last one, Yogacara school of Mahayana Buddhism. You know, Mahayana school, they have at least two major sub-school. One is Madhyamika, philosophical school, talk about the what? Sunyata. Then another school called Yogacara school, they call mind school or consciousness school. They have what we call Alaya Vinaya, talk about the Alaya seeds. So this idea, in fact, Mahayana's idea came from this Sautrantika school, the Bija theory. So as I say, Sautrantika, they rejected the other group of Savastivada. They believe in Abhidhamma and commentary. So this Sautrantika believe in Sutta only. They don't believe Abhidhamma. Okay. He also says that all Dharma and existence momentary. To Sautrantika, their Dharma theory is such that Dharma very fast, exists in a split second. That means whatever things you see, external object, not real. Because Dharma already disappear already. The appearance come to your eye contact in a later stage. So all these are not real. External object not real. The present Dharma are real. Past and future not real. Third paragraph. All phenomena arise and perish instantaneously, very fast. Therefore, they disagree with the no such thing as tri-temporal period. All disappear very fast. The three school rejected, this school also rejected the Antarabhava. Because if Dharma exists very short period, instantaneous, there's no such thing, no existence of intermediate stage, correct or not? Just like Theravada believe in instant rebirth, instant thought. That's why this type of school, they don't believe in Antarabhava. They also view composite entity, conceptual, not real. All the outside existence, all concept only, they are not real. You see? So Abhidhamma, Sautrantika school, no more. We have discussed. Then Savastivada, as I say, split into Sautrantika and Vaibhasika, correct or not? Vaibhasika, Savastivada split into Vaibhasika and three other schools, Vaibhasika and Sautrantika. Then we have discussed Sautrantika. Then what happened to Vaibhasika? Vaibhasika, as I say, they focus on Abhidhamma and commentary. But within the Vaibhasika school, later there's another group appear. Independent. It's not, we don't say it's a schism, split away from Vaibhasika. No, it's an independent school called Muda Savastivadin. Did not split from Savastivada, Rather, it's independently development within the Savastivada Vaibhasika's tradition. That means one hand Sautrantika, the other hand Vaibhasika. And Vaibhasika itself a small group. They call themselves Muda Savastivadi. Why they call Muda Savastivadi? Because they adopted the original version of Sarvastivada's Vinaya text. Original version of Sarvastivada's Vinaya text has a lot of long stories, commentary story to explain the rules. Just like when you read the Pali Vinaya text, you have a rule, you have a Sutta Vibhanga, right? Now, explain a lot of story about the why and how Buddha proclaim or introduce the Vinaya rule, right? Now, so similarly, in the Sarvastivada school, they have a lot of they have a lot of long story to explain this Vinaya rule. But then later it concise, it shorten it, But this Muda Savastivading, this group of monks, they say, we want to adopt back the old version. They want a lot of long story. So this group call themselves Muda Savastivading. So Muda Savastivada, the Vinaya, still exists today. It has been adopted by the Tibetan Buddhism. Tibetan school, Buddhist school, adopt the Muda Sarvastivada's Vinaya. Just as Chinese, they adopt the Dhammaguttaka's Vinaya. So Tibet is different Vinaya. So Vinaya text of Muda Sarvastivada has many episodes, Jataka stories, relating to the past and present life of Gautama Buddha. A lot of stories regarding their Vinaya. It has more numerous rules for monk and nun on the ritual precisions. So other than this, there's not much difference between the two schools Vinaya, whether you are the original Sarvastivada or you have the Muda Sarvastivada. The doctrine are the same, except the Vinaya rule, one has more story, one has less story, that's all. You see. So they share the same core doctrine, core teaching. Last paragraph, including the existing of all the Dharma throughout the three periods. Right now, there was a particular important belief of Sarvastivada, the existence of Dharma throughout the three periods. So Muda Sarvastivada also believe the same thing, you see. Then we come to the last conclusion. So by 2nd century CE, that means 500 years after Asoka's time, all the 18 schools will more or less exist. That means 2nd century CE is about how many years from the Vaisali meeting? Vaisali Council 100 over year after Buddha passed away. That means up to the end of the period CE is about 400 years plus this about 600 years, 5 to 600 years. So throughout the period of 5 to 600 years after the second council, all 18 schools all 20 over schools already existed in India. Okay. No more. So by the time, but all these schools will never exist throughout the period, Some existed for a few hundred years, 100 or 200 years, then disappear. And by the time when the Muslim attacked India, sometime around 13th century CE, that means 1,000 over years later, there were only 4 Nikaya schools in existence. I mean, 4 Nikaya schools. I'm not saying Vajrayana or Mahayana. I mean, beside the Mahayana, there are 4 Hinaya schools still existed during the 13th century. Which are the 4? Saviravada, Savastivada, Samitiya, and Dhammaguttaka. These 4 schools existed until the time when Muslim destroy all the temple. Only these 4 schools, Mahayana, all disappear. That's all. Mahasangika, Saviravada, Samitiya, and Savastivada. 4 schools existed until 13th century. That's all. This one is a bit confusing. 18 school, all because different school have different teaching. It looks the same, some different. This one different from other, but same as that. So it's a combination of various teaching, but you focus on the 4 areas, as I told you. The doctrine that explain the continuity of karma. The doctrine that talk about the existence of past, present dharma. Then they talk about antara bhava, talk about the spiritual practice, sila samadhi panya, talk about the nature arahant, whether arahant perfect or not. You talk about antara bhava, talk about supramundane Buddha, whether Buddha human being or what. That's all. What you emphasize on these few issues, technical issues. Then it's only some part of it rejected the rest. Some believe others, 3 or 4, but rejected these 2 or something like that. Is a rojak combine. It depends on how you combine. It sounds complicated, but you just identify their issues, their differences. That's all. The only thing is that our 18 is difficult for you to remember. That's all. So any things, 340, 130 something, 2, 3, just about 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes late only.